This week, we talk about the Switch Lite getting drifty just like its big brother. YouTube TV makes its way to Amazon devices, and Microsoft announced a bunch of new stuff. So let's go ahead and have a look. As Jake Hager would say, we the people, check it out. Welcome to another sophisticated Saturday. I am coming here to bring you the tech news, as I always do on Saturday. And I've got a few interesting stories. In our first story, this is probably the most recent story actually. Red Dead Redemption 2 has been confirmed. It's coming to PC November 5th. But hold on. It's also going to be a launch title for Google Stadia. So this is kind of a big deal. Google Stadia is Google's game streaming service that they're launching this year, where you still have to purchase the games, but instead of downloading them, you can stream them. Now there's advantages. Obviously, you can play it from anywhere, phone, tablet, long hair, don't care. You can play the game. All right, that's the advantage. Disadvantage is, of course, you have to have a stable internet connection for it to work. There's also going to be more input lag that's introduced just because you're streaming a game online versus playing it on a local machine. But you know this. So Google is really trying to get out here and convince people that this will be the streaming or the service of the future, which it probably will be, but we'll have to see if they can pull it off in a way that works. Now, personally, I'm probably going to check it out anyway. I don't think Red Dead Redemption 2 is enough for me to say, wow, I'm going to keep this, even if it does run well. So we'll have to see. In our next story, a billboard in Detroit got hacked to play adult content. And by adult content, I mean adult content. You know, like HBO and script. No, I'm talking about porn. Alright, y'all need to calm it down, internet. I know you can do stuff just to mess with people, but can you please be more protective with your time? Please, just at least play something. Play SpongeBob on the billboard or something. Something that's entertaining. No one wants to see some old crusty porn just popping up while they're driving down the interstate. Please don't disrespect my time. I won't disrespect your time. There's no substance to the story. It's just something that happened. I don't think they've been caught yet. In our next story, as I mentioned in the intro part, the Switch Lite is also getting drifty. So there's a class action lawsuit that's forming against Nintendo for the issues with the Joy-Con drift situation, which is where the controller basically in game as it starts to drift like someone's pressing the joystick or something like that, but you're not doing anything, and then it was an issue. So Nintendo originally was charging people to fix it. Recently they just said hey, if there's a controller issue, just go ahead and fix it for free. But people are mad about it because Nintendo, for the longest time, said it wasn't an issue. Apparently it was. But now it's being reported that the Switch Lite is having the same issue on the same week that I did my Switch Lite unboxing. Come on, Nintendo, killing me. I haven't personally experienced the issue on my original Switch or the Switch Lite, but I did have my Joy-Con repaired when I first got the Switch because I did have one of the models that was affected by the disconnecting issue. So originally when the Switch came out, some launch Switches had an issue where the Joy-Con was wireless. It would just keep disconnecting over and over again. So I was affected by that issue that was repaired for free. It does suck if people were affected by this and they had to pay it. Hopefully, Nintendo will implement some kind of refund program. And I'm hoping that I don't run into the issue. I'm gonna be fight everybody in Nintendo. Back. Why don't you fix it? Back. As the Engadget article pointed out, is that with the Switch Lite, obviously, if there's an issue with that, you gotta send the whole thing in. You can't just detach your controller and send it in. With my regular Switch, when I had the repair done, I just set the one controller. I went out and bought a Pro controller so I could still play it until I got it back. Then never used the Pro controller again. So Nintendo, get it together. All right, in our next story, it's not that big of a deal, but YouTube and Amazon, or Google and Amazon more specifically, they're beefing. Now they've made up, and now they're having the wedding reception as YouTube TV finally comes to Amazon streaming devices, or will be available soon, I believe. YouTube TV is not the same as regular YouTube. YouTube TV is basically their paid streaming service for television content, kind of similar to, Hulu TV subscription service you can get, or something like Sling or AT&T Now, formerly DirecTV Now. It's good. Now they're making up. I think that Amazon's platform is going to be a lot bigger, especially with the devices, everything they announced last week with the new Fire TV Cube and all this stuff. I'm even interested in kind of expanding my footprint into the Amazon ecosystem as far as digital streaming, just because of the Fire TV recast, as we had to recently buy an antenna because SmackDown moved to Fox. And any wrestling fans will know, you got to do what you got to do to keep watching. Even if you don't enjoy it as much anymore, you still got to watch it. So, with already having antennas, the Fire TV recast is looking good. So we'll have to see. Anyway, this is good for people that have an Amazon device and maybe subscribe to their television through YouTube TV. I don't know, but at least they're making up. We should all just get along. Alright, and last but not least was the Microsoft Surface event. Now, I'm not going to touch on everything. I'm just going to touch on a few things that I found interesting. So let's just go over the basics. Okay, Surface event is just Microsoft's kind of hardware and software showcase where they announce all their new products, kind of similar to what every company does now. The little press conference thing. So they announced new Surface books and blah, blah, blah faster. That's good. The important thing is, the first thing that they announced that caught my eye were the Surface earbuds. Now, the reason that these caught my eye is because they have such a unique design. It basically looks like someone just shoved a piece of clay in your ear and just flattened it, like smoothed it and flattened it, and you sit there look like a statue. Like, you could be a model with those on. Like, the design, whether it's good or not, is going to be a matter of opinion. I think the design looks pretty cool. I mean, I'm not. It's going to look weird in your ear either way because it's going to be this big circle. But it has a function. Apparently, it's going to have touch controls similar to what they offer on their bigger Surface headphones, and it kind of aesthetically looks in line with their other Surface headphones. So I'm kind of digging the design. I think it's pretty cool looking. I think it's something different, which is weird that it's coming from Microsoft. Not too weird, but like, I find it great that they're trying to do something different. Now, these are going to be $250. They're not going to be cheap, but they don't look like they're going to be cheaply made either, so I can respect that. We'll have to, of course, see how the battery life's going to be and all that jazz. The one thing that I found cool about it, aside from it's going to have the touch controls on the ear, the earbuds themselves, is it's going to have some tie-ins with Office. One example that they gave was like being able to dictate and put text like of what you're saying into like a PowerPoint presentation. The other thing they announced was Windows 10 X, which now I'm confused if the X is supposed to be a 10 or not. It's supposed to be Windows 10, Windows 20, or Windows 10 X. Can an X be an X anymore? I feel like Apple ruined the X for everybody. Anyway, it's supposed to be kind of a lighter version of Windows that's designed more so for dual screen laptops. Now, some of these devices already exist where it has a screen here. The bottom part is also a screen that folds. But, you can have like an on-screen keyboard down here, whatever. Which brings to the next thing that they announced their own dual-screen laptop, the Surface Neo. Yes, red pill or the blue pill. Either way, you're going to get that Neo. Alright? That was a bad pun. That was real bad. Anyway, Surface Neo. It's a dual-screen laptop that Microsoft's making. I think it looks pretty cool. Apparently, it's going to come with like an external Bluetooth keyboard as well, because you could use a regular keyboard. Other than that, then you're all just touch. You got a big touch keyboard at the bottom, or you got a whole touch screen at the bottom, but you can just have a big touch keyboard if you want to. You got a touch screen at the top. It folds. You basically have a dual screen computer with you wherever you go. So like if you wanted to fold this, instead of folding it out like a laptop, you can just fold it out this way, and you have a dual screen computer. A dual screen all in one, pretty much. That sounds like a better proposition to me. And then that way, if you want to just hook up a Bluetooth keyboard, for instance, this comes with one, you can do that, external mouse, whatever. That's a good proposition. A better proposition than the Surface Duo, the phone that Microsoft announced that is going to run Android, surprisingly. They've given up on Windows. They gave up on Windows Phone a while ago. I'm glad to see that they're sticking with that because It could have been good, but they weren't going to put the effort in to keep supporting it, and it wasn't catching on. So they nixed it, fine with that. It's running Android, good. But it's going to be a dual screen phone, and not the same way like the Galaxy Fold is. It's literally going to be like two phones glued together. Well, not glued together. It's going to be hinged together. It looks kind of big. Like, I just don't see this being like a functional phone. Like, this would make more sense as a tablet. Like, if they announced this as a tablet, which we've seen this before. It's not like the first time that anything like this has happened. It's just the first time that such a big company is doing something like this. I'm going to reserve my judgment of the device until I see more about it. But I'm just saying it looks kind of big. Like, it looks big, and then you just have the two screens. But I can see how that can be useful on the go. I'm not saying that there's not a market for it or a reason for it. It's just that it just doesn't seem like it's ergonomic. That's like, where are you going to put this at? We're just going to carry a backpack around all the time? Carry all these devices, all these screens? I got time for it. But there was a lot more in the Surface event. I'm not going to cover the rest of it because I don't personally find it interesting. But what I do find interesting is that this show is coming to a conclusion. So if you enjoyed this video, make sure to tell a friend, tell a coworker. You can always subscribe to get more videos if you'd like. And remember to always do at least 2 things at the same time. I'll be back for another Super Cheap Sunday. I don't know if it's going to be a weekly video or not. I know I'm going to be back tomorrow. We'll have to see how it goes. Alright, stay peachy keen.